Here we go. All right, going live. We're live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 60 Cycle Hum Live Hangout. I hope it's all working. Can you all hear me? Comment section, people. Tell me if you can hear me. We've already got two people waiting to join. We've got Diaz here.
There's two of us? That's crazy.
And there's a guy named Tone Balls. Tone Balls.
Tone Balls.
And then we've got Dr. Ryan. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ryan.
It hurts when I do this. I don't know about that. So
Don't do that.
So don't do that anymore.
knock it off, man. Stop doing that. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
So I can jump. There's a couple questions waiting for me here, unless anyone has anything more important to talk about.
No.
We've got Greg Mock asks, okay, here goes. When did you, as a bona fide San Diego surf band dude, decide the ZZ Top beard needed to join the band?
Oh my gosh.
All in jest, my friend. All in jest. I used to, when I met my wife, I had a beard like down to here.
My wife.
And I just had the thought this past fall, like it had started to grow a little bit long, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it this year. I'm just gonna let it go wild.
I think that's how we can differentiate the original listeners too. It's like, where was Ryan's beard at when you started listening?
Right.
I remember when he only had a mustache.
I think when it hits like April, I'm gonna start trimming it, and I'm just gonna let it keep going till then. I have a feeling it's gonna get down to about there. I think that'll be about it. But I'm not super, worried about it at this point. Daniel, with a last name I can't read, asks, do penguins have knees? And if yes, why can't we see them? They have knees just like any other bird, but the part you think of as the knee on a chicken, because they have like the back, like on a bird is like he's got like the backwards leg. That's not the knee, that's the ankle. Their knee is in between that drumstick and the thigh. Like that's where the knee is. So yeah, penguins have knees. They're not where you think.
Well, and they're hidden behind the feathers.
They're hidden behind the feathers. Most birds hide their knees.
They don't want you in their bees' knees.
I'm looking for other questions in the comments just to make sure I'm
Is
not.
someone sending Morse code right now?
Someone's tapping on something.
I heard some Morse code going on.
Someone's in Hawaii. Aloha. My sister's in Maui right now, and
in all fairness, aloha could be goodbye as well. So that could be a very rude comment.
Don't people usually use mahalo for that?
I don't know. I haven't watched Lilo and Stitch in a while.
So. Oh, we lost Dr. Ryan. EJ is waiting to join, but it doesn't look like there's any camera information there. So
sorry, EJ.
All right, Brandon asks, hey Ryan, will you get your kids into music? My son is 1 and I can't wait to get him into music. I mean, if they want to, obviously, if they want to. And I've mentioned it on the show before, like, hey, if my kids ever want to start playing, then there's all kinds of sponsors I can get to.
Oh my gosh.
And weirdly, right after I said that on the podcast, like 3 different brands emailed me like, yes, if you ever want to teach your kids, we will put money into that.
Do you like the Partridge Family?
Yeah. But I'm not pushing them. Like, they have to fall in love with it. They have to have interest on their own. I'm not going to be one of these parents that's like, hey, you're going to sit down and do your lessons so that you can do a recital, and we're going to get you started, doing this stuff.
Yeah, I've let my kids kind of figure out their thing. My son wanted a guitar for Christmas, so I gave him one. I gave him like one of my like 1970s Alvarez acoustics.
Nice. Dr. Ryan is back. The skooma. And he's gone.
Golly.
Maybe I should check the private chat. Maybe he just wants to hang. He doesn't say anything. Maybe he just wants to hang out without being on here. The skooma plug asks, I've been dying to find out what that super recognizable surf chord near the nut is. Sounds good with wah. You know what I mean. Please help me out. I think you're talking about E minor?
The E minor 7th. I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, pipeline, the glissando up the neck terminates on an E minor, a nice big E minor chord, and you just kind of like work the wiggle stick a little bit. So that might be it, but it might be an E minor 7th too. There's
It is
also
a 7th. I listen. I've watched your channel enough. I can tell you it's an E minor 7th.
there's also the James Bond E minor chord, which I think is an E minor 6th. You move that 7th, up a fret from the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, and it becomes like the James Bond chord.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, fine. Ryan, what's your favorite James Bond song?
Well, I was thinking in terms of the theme song. So like
I know.
that makes no sense if you ask that, but then you mean favorite intro song.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's one in my head.
There's only one right answer.
What's your answer? Because you sound like you know.
Oh yeah, GoldenEye by Tina Turner.
GoldenEye's pretty good,
dude.
There's a melody in my head, but I can't place the catchphrase that would tell me the title of the movie.
Live and Let Die.
No. I mean, that's an epic song, but I feel like that song has become its own song. It's not necessarily,
for sure.
A James Bond song anymore.
Especially whenever Guns N' Roses covered it. So
look who's here. It is Phillip from the podcast.
What's up?
Some more podcasters.
All right, you guys chat. I'm gonna read the comments some more.
Dirty, filthy podcasters. That's just
I know
the way
that's
this
right.
goes.
There's a doctor. We've got a doctor. A couple podcasters. We got some balls.
We got the subhuman species of podcasters joining together.
I love how the podcasters we get on and we're all just already talkative. It's like being back at the house. I miss it.
Ready to go.
I'm ready to hit Nashville again.
Greg asked, "Do you ever pick up the Starcaster anymore?" Yeah, I do. It's on the wall across from me here. I play that for my own pleasure pretty often. I like that guitar a lot. I use it on the couch a lot with the Mustang headphone plug and stuff like that. There's a lot of guitars that I play often that don't make it on the channel as often.
I can't remember. Did you mess with the Waza Airs?
I did at NAMM when they came out, and it seemed like a fun sort of thing, but I think I would get tired of that.
I actually love them. Like it's a lot of fun, especially being able to like just pull up YouTube and play a guitar track and just jam along with that, with just having your phone in your Waza Airs. It's great.
I think I'm just going to stroll down to the bottom of the comments to catch up. So anyone that I missed, if you had a question, I'm sorry, just ask it again.
Homo sapiens podcast stations. I like that. That's great.
I don't think did someone type that somewhere?
Yeah. Someone did. I can't remember.
Podcast station. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Homo. I feel like we need to shorten it, like Homo Podcast Sapiens or something.
Oh, totally. That's it. No, stop right there. That's it. That's the t-shirt.
For Homo Podcast Sapiens.
And most people will just leave off the Sapiens and it'll just be Homo Podcast. It'll be great. Fantastic. I see Kreenar asked if I'm 8 times Keith Williams. Yeah, something like that. Because 5-watt world.
The 5-watt podcast? That's what I'm starting.
I sat and thought about it for a minute. Like 8 times Keith. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone asked 12-inch or 15-inch speaker for surf. I mean,
that's really small for a surfboard.
Oh, dude, that was good. I feel. Does it matter? Does it really matter? I feel like you'd want to go 12-inch because you wouldn't want as much bass to it. But does it? There's
different schools of thought. Like if you're trying to be Dick Dale, then you want the 15s because he does the dual showmans with 4 15-inch speakers at a time. That's what I think he does. He does 2 dual showmans into 2x15 speakers. Like
that is my man right there.
If you're trying to reproduce that, then that's what you go with. But most people are fine with 12 inches. I'll say that 15 is a little much. I mean, 12 is plenty, right, guys?
Yeah,
sure.
4's good, right? 4.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Did you see that TikTok? Yeah, the snow TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was great. That's hilarious.
That's a lot, right?
That's a lot, right? Okay.
Is that a lot?
Yeah. And every guy's going through the comment section. Is it though?
My wife is texting me telling me
gosh.
she just left me a Marco Polo. Do I dare check
Oh,
Marco Polo on the mic? I don't think she'd
Wait.
send me anything sexy.
People still use Marco Polo?
yeah, dude. You got to get on Marco Polo again.
She's talking about peanut butter. So she's telling me about her grocery store trip. I'm sure she's on
Marco. Oh my gosh.
right now. It's definitely not anything sexy. We
I don't know. Peanut butter can be pretty sexy, dude.
I mean,
It's got its place.
All right, guys, crunchy or creamy? You decide.
Whoa. Yes.
that's a good
but-
question.
Different
Crunchy.
applications. Applications.
Extra crunchy. I don't care. You could literally just give me peanuts. I'm good. I
I'm
don't
about to say,
That's it.
Here's my rant on peanut butter. I'm like a Skippy boy. I love the really super hyper creamy stuff. Like I love that. But I'd also love to be able to get like the stuff that's lower ingredients, more, healthy, like whatever phrase you want to use to describe that.
Less preservatives and stuff.
Yeah. Like just, peanut butter really only needs to be peanuts and salt and, maybe a little extra oil or something like that to make it just right. The only reason like the organic and natural peanut butters and stuff like that aren't creamy is because of marketing, because you associate like the gritty peanut butter with being natural, but it has to do with the machinery they're using. They can use a machine that can grind it to be that creamy and that fine, but they don't because it's like a marketing thing. You can buy all natural Jif that is just the basic ingredients and they get that same texture.
they do. We get it all the time. It's the same texture. It doesn't have to be like eating sand. It really doesn't.
No, and it's fine. Like if I need to stir it or whatever, as long as I get that texture,
literally blend it a little more. It'll be fine.
Yeah, like I'm down. Like I'm totally down to pay some more and get the natural stuff, but have it be the texture that I want. The fact that it's really hard for me to get the like peanut butter with that texture that is a more adult peanut butter, I guess, is upsetting to me.
Do you remember when they had
Tone Balls back in it, and the Guitar Rabbi is here. Shalom.
What's up?
Shalom. Adult peanut butter. I think I came into the wrong stream.
Oh no, you're in the right place, buddy.
So Ryan, I want to help your comment guys out a little bit. I'm going to answer one and then give you one that I saw, and you can answer it because that's your category. Kyle Spicer said, "Does the Line 6 Helix Multi Effects have a soul?" Asking for a friend who hates pedals. I love the Helix. I had it. I've had every Helix variation. I don't anymore, but that's because I'm a glutton for punishment and I want my pedal board to weigh half as much as I do. But the effects can sound great if you spend time with them. The presets are trash.
right here, and I love this thing.
That's the Zoom, right?
Yeah.
This is G11.
So my first like pedal
the soul is in your fingers. Like people say tone is in your fingers. Like I don't know, but the soul is definitely in you. Like
that's why they call it spirit fingers.
You're the one who determines whether or not you sound like you've got soul in your playing. Like, come on.
Yeah. And so, Ryan, the one for you is Driven Tone asked reverb. Ryan, is there anything between the Mosky Spring Reverb and the Electro Harmonix Oceans 11 that you would recommend?
Oh, that's tricky. Like, I mean, if you're getting into hall sounds or like, kind of like just slapbacky stuff, there's probably plenty to find in between the two. But if you're trying to get drippy surf reverb, like there's really not a lot. Like I really feel like the Electro Harmonix is the bottom range of cost to get that sound. Like that's the closest you're going to get for the least amount of money.
Yeah.
Getting a surf reverb drip. Guitar Rabbi, I think you've got a lot of static and you're putting an echo into the signal. So I don't know if you've got some speakers on or something like that. I think you can unmute yourself.
I don't know though. I think like if you're going for like purely like surfy drip, I think the best one is probably right there for a good price.
No,
Electro.
Oh no!
Come on,
the Spring King doesn't drip.
It drips a little.
I'm about to fight you.
Did you not watch Ryan's video with the Spring King?
All right, listen. Here's the thing though. So I have a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts, and I don't watch videos that much anymore. Listen, the hard part is,
for what it's worth, I haven't watched a Ryan video since the Spring King videos, but
I don't know.
Mostly
I'm
kidding.
not what you'd call a smart man. So I'm not. I don't know anything about Drippy. The first time I heard about Drippy was so Ryan and I are in a group over here that no one knows about, and he told us about 60 Cycle Hum when it first started. Him and Steve did, and it was crazy. And he was talking about chasing the Drippy Dragon, and I was like, Ryan does some hardcore drugs. I haven't even heard of that one yet. I was like, he's on some West Coast stuff. And then Ryan's the reason I learned about drip and all that fun stuff.
So Poo Ninja asks, Henry's jumping in here. Hey, bud. Poo Ninja asks, does the Hall of Fame Mini drip? When I had the Hall of Fame 2, I was not able to get any sort of surf drip out of it. So I don't think the Mini will drip either. I don't have a lot of hopes for the Hall of Fames, and I haven't seen anyone else say, oh, well, here's the setting you need to dial in to get a surf reverb out of it. So there's an answer to that question.
You know what I can tell you doesn't drip? The Azor reverb.
No, it does not.
So Ryan, you messed with the Flint, didn't you?
I did, and you can dial in a little bit of a drip with it, but
it's not a heavy drip. It's like
no. I forget the other. I think it's either the Blue Sky. I think it's the Blue Sky that actually has a pretty decent drip to it. Emily from Get Offset is joining. Hey, Emily.
Hey.
Emily.
Going.
It's going. I did. I'm very pleased with myself.
I wasn't expecting you or anything, but welcome.
I wasn't expecting me either. I wasn't expecting me last night when I actually did a live stream.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. Accidental live stream.
Robert called me on the phone and was like, do you have a way of contacting Emily to tell her that something's up? Like she's live streaming right now and she doesn't know it.
Yeah, thanks for telling me.
I was driving when he called, so it's like I always talk to her through Facebook Messenger. Good luck. Henry's decided to play his Switch on the ground behind me, which is
fantastic.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
What's he
I
playing?
guess I won't be swearing very much in this because usually I swear so much. Diaz is back.
I had to put my podcast. Everyone else put theirs, and I didn't get the.
Yeah.
I literally left and came back just for that.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
I had to get a little diva there. That was fun.
Yeah.
Well, I put it because otherwise everybody's like, who the hell's Phillip?
Yeah.
If you're not self-promoting, what are you even doing, right, guys? Like you can't just like hang out and talk with friends. You always have to hustle.
Listen, I went on a date.
exist.
I went on a date and I was showing her our stats. I was like, check this out. I wish that was a joke.
So what were your stats on a second date?
Not as good. Definitely not.
I think about that sometimes. Like, what if I was still single right now while doing all that stuff? Like, how would that go over on a first date? Like, oh, what do you do? Well, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, that's interesting. Like,
Check, please.
Well, here's my numbers. Ooh, those aren't very good.
I mean, I was dating when I was running a blog about free things in Nashville that was really popular called Nashville for Free. And it was pretty weird because people either did not care or they cared entirely too much.
So yeah, I went on this date and I told her I was on a podcast. And like before we went on a second date, she was like, oh, so I listened to your podcast. I was like, oh crap. I was like, so you were supposed to remember the name of it. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, I was wearing the shirt with my logo on it. No, I'm just kidding. Like,
he like set up microphones at the table. Like,
I feel like I need to answer a question. Rum Bob Square Bottle, what amp gave them the classic surf sound back in the day? No amp. They had a standalone unit that gave them that sound. The Fender Reverb Tank.
Yeah. Who's asking that?
Rum Bob Square Bottle.
Oh, I thought you were just saying words. I didn't realize that was a name.
No, that's a name. Rum Bob Square Bottle.
I don't think that's his real name though.
Well, I hope it is.
I'm guessing.
Well, they're the outboard spring reverb unit is the key to the reverb drip. But as far as amps goes, like what was available back then, like there were some amps that like a lot of bands used. The Dual Showman was classic. But, you think about any other Fender amp that was around back then or any other clean amp that was around and they were being used. Like, I don't think people were incredibly picky, but, I think Dick Dale set the standard in a lot of people's minds. And for that time period, like PAs weren't really a thing. Like, so you needed to be as loud as you possibly could at these shows. And so big clean amps like dual Showmans and twin reverbs, when those came out and stuff like that, were pretty key. And
I got a friend, an older friend who told me about gigging in the 60s, and they used a dual Showman as their vocal PA to give you an idea of what PAs were like.
Yeah. But there's a lot of old products, that old amp style products that are amps / PAs / bass amps / accordion, that have all these multiple inputs and stuff. And you can find some funky stuff out there.
That's like so there used to be the giant custom PAs, the like blue the blue I don't know, like kind of like padded material, like had foam in it. And I remember dude, I remember messing with one of those whenever I was a kid, because my stepdad was a drummer, and like my whole family I was raised in. My uncle Mark actually toured for Loretta Lynn as her drummer.
Wow.
Like that's my only like tie in there. But like so they had this giant amp, and we used to mess with it all the time and get in a lot of trouble.
Hey, if they would have asked that question today in Facebook, you would have 50 people saying you need a rat pedal.
God.
That would be the answer.
Not
a Schecter. You need a rat pedal and a Schecter.
You're a rat.
In a way, like I wonder if like the haul your own PA era would have been better for a lot of the stuff that I've done, because I've played so many dive bars over the years, and relying on dive bar PAs was always just super, super sketchy. I wonder if it would have been so much better for me to haul in my own PAs over the years.
Even a small one would have been better.
Yeah, totally.
Just something for vocals and kick drum.
And just have your own control, and like you set it to the same level roughly that you do at practice, and you're familiar with it and what it sounds like and what it does, instead of showing up and like, oh, I've never used this before, and like the person running it has no idea what they're doing either, and they don't know how we actually like to have the band mixed, and like it might be worth it.
Yeah,
if you're playing bar gigs, to haul your own PA these days.
You don't have to raise your hand, Dr. Ryan.
So,
you just start talking.
I'm like that in a regular conversation too. Sorry. I would say, number one, I just got a Meteora. Yeah. Number two, my Mr. Black Deluxe, like I barely turn that past 9 o'clock. That thing is absurd. I mean, I know it's not a super quality thing, but if you just score one for half the price of a Flint.
No, the Mr. Black are good.
I think it's good stuff.
Anything Mr. Black is like phenomenal.
Yep.
And then I would say for the PA thing, I'm the guy in the band that like once you book a decent show, I want to move all the amps behind the drum set and practice like we're pretending we're on the stage with a back line. And that way, even if the PA's lousy, everyone else is going to know what it's going to be like to be lined up. So that's the other solution, I think, is just to like have your stage sound dialed in, and then they tell them just to run the kick and drums, and then they maybe won't screw it up.
So nowadays we have like the greatest thing ever, and that is the Behringer X16, which is a nice portable PA, but it's great because you can save all your settings. And as soon, because my brother uses it, he's a gigging musician, and he uses it. He has all of his settings saved for whenever he's playing with these people and all this. And when they rehearse, they just save it. They go to the place, they adjust a little bit for the room, the difference in the room, and they're all set. But they've already got pretty much ready to go where they want. And I mean, you can get one of those. I got a used one back before the pandemic for like $400. So, I mean, they're cheap, and all you have to do is buy speakers and you're all set, ready to go.
And see, and that's the nice thing with Behringer, because with their stuff, they really do a really good job for the price.
Yeah, they just got to copy the more expensive thing and make it half the price.
And
change it. We'll make it a different color.
Talk shit about them.
Huh?
And then just sue everybody and talk shit about them.
Sorry, I just got Ryan sued. Yes.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No. What's it? Is it Yuli Behringer?
Yeah, Uli's very litigious.
Yes.
All right, I'm pulling up this photo. This commenter says that I look like the Spin Doctor singer.
Oh, please! I want to share this with us.
Hey, 1, 2.
Let's see. If I can get-
Well, if you do that, oh my gosh, he does look like an old version of you.
there I am.
Oh, he does. He's got it in the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not far away from that, am I?
Yeah.
There's my future.
So, well, I mean, you already have 2 princes, so
Oh my god!
I honestly
I'm
do
done.
like the
I quit.
Doctors.
You know, I quit podcasting in general right
Wait,
now.
see,
I'm
the
done.
funny
Someone
part,
tell
y'all, is
Scott,
Diaz-
I'm done.
Diaz thinks that was original. I just stole it from Ryan's podcast, but Diaz doesn't listen to podcasts, so he hasn't heard the joke.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
The Harmony costs twice as much for a third of the wattage.
I don't know. Is the math on that correct? I want to get a fact checker.
Oh, they're talking about compared to the Monoprice.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, gotta be compared to the Monoprice.
Monoprice just raised their price on it $30, but it's still the best tube amp for the price.
But wattage isn't linear.
No, I honestly think like that Monoprice is the only tube amp at that price. I can't think of anything else.
How much is it now? Even at $30 more? How much is it?
Must be like 250, 270, something like in that range.
Does it have reverb on it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And it actually it has an attenuator too, which is really nice. I forget what it does. It goes from like 15 watts down to 2 watts or 1 watt or something like that.
Oh,
It's actually a really nice feature to have on there.
I was going to recommend the VHT Special 6, but they're like $480 now. Holy crap.
Yeah, I can't think of any other tube amps that are even close in features because you can get, like little 5-watt micro heads and stuff like that for $200 and $250 and stuff like that. But that's totally different than buying the Monoprice amp. And part of my thinking on that is that people are like, oh, see, you can't, these companies are just stealing from us. You can get tube amps that are this cheap and blah, blah, blah. And they sound totally great. It's like, I think this is a big exception. Like, there, it is a amp design that was the Laney amp design, and they just buckled down and they're like, let's make 1 billion of these so we can sell them super cheap, get the production costs down, and we'll just sell them forever. You haven't seen anyone else come out with a competing product, which I think says a lot. Like the numbers that they have to produce those in to cut a profit on that has to be astronomical. I don't think it's an example of what the amps should be priced at. I think there should definitely be tube amps priced starting in the 400 and 500s for sure. But yeah, it's an exception.
And there are.
Isn't the 605 in that price range?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget the range on that, but like I
know the 50 was 1,000 because I'm supposed to get that in this weekend, maybe.
Okay, someone, I want to call this out really quick. I'm not calling.
I wanted to get the 20-watt Harmony, but they didn't have them when.
They still don't. They still don't. That's what I asked for, but they're like, you get the 05 or you get the 50. I'm like, well, I kind of want the trim.
Yeah, I would have gone with the 50 if I had the option. They like Harmony was so weird about it. They're like, hey, we want you to. You're wondering if you want to cover this amp. We already picked which one out of the line. And it's like, oh well, I really prefer the 20 because I work with almost exclusively like amps in that wattage range. Like I think the 5 sounds good, but it's not functional for use in like pedal demos for me because it's like almost purely like small wattage sounds.
Okay, really quick. I want to call something out, or I want to say something. Someone just said wattage means nothing. A Mesa Boogie Subway Rocket is as loud as my 150 watt Mustang 4. Wattage does mean something. It might not mean what you think it means, and that might be the problem.
Also, something with the linear solid state power amplifier, you need more wattage to get to the volume of a tube amplifier. It's just the way it is.
They're not.
Not equal.
And remember, if you go from 5 watts to 10 watts, you're not doubling your volume.
No,
yeah,
you have to go from
that's
watts to 50 watts to double your volume, right? It's because it's like 10 times. So if if you want to double the volume of a 50 watt amp, you have to have a 500 watt amp.
Yeah.
But that's all like perceived volume, and there's all this stupid science behind it. If Cole Duke or whoever else who's an audio engineer was here, Scott. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember his last name. Hamilton, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
that I can't.
Wow. I'm gonna tell him. I'm like, he doesn't remember your last name.
Yeah, I still remembered it. But I was second guessing it, which makes me feel awful. But you can tell him that I did screw up his name. But yeah, there's sound scientists that actually know this stuff. But yeah, wattage doesn't scale that great with amps, and people think like, oh, I don't want a 20 watt amp, I want a 30 watt amp, and I'm always like, you're not really going to be able to tell with that. Like I'd classify things as like small wattage is below 10. Like a 12 watt amp and a 20 watt amp, you're going to be kind of in the same conceptual space.
And
This
you've
is
also
20 and it's so loud.
And you've got to also remember too, like it's not so much that like you're gonna put it at the volume that you think is right, and all that's gonna change is if you're at 4 or 6. Like it has nothing. Like you're not gonna really like unless you're cranking them. Pretty much a lot of wattage will be fine for you. You could probably go from a 5 to a 50 watt, and like I said, you'll just move from 4 to 8 or something like that. It'll just be a different spot on the knob for you.
And things change with different genres of music and different styles of playing. Like if you're in a metal band, like I think it's the same for metal and for surf, honestly. If you're in a surf band or a metal band, you need headroom. For the surf band, you need
country too.
You need a lot of clean headroom if you're in a surf band. So you need an amp like a Twin or a Showman or something like that. Like I use my acoustic 150s, which are like massively loud at surf shows, to get that clean headroom. I don't want to hit any clipping, any tube distortion when I'm playing live. For a metal band, you are doing a lot of heavy distortion, but you still need, you kind of need clean headroom on that distortion for your lows and your like your EQs and stuff like that, because you could just completely smash the gain section of your amp, but it's going to turn to mud. You still need clarity. So in those kinds of examples, you do need higher wattage amps, like 100 watt starting for a lot of those kinds of applications. But for most people, like kind of like the 20 to 50 watt range is more than enough for the vast majority of people.
I've got a ton of amps, but I've got a 100 watt at 2x12 amp, and I also have a 31 watt 2x12. That 31 is the loudest amp I've ever owned, and that's headroom, that's everything. It puts out just pure more raw volume than the 100 watt amp I've got. So it varies so much from amp to amp, maker to maker, has to speaker efficiency. You can't just say wattage and get the whole picture.
No, not at all. Yeah, there's so many factors at play, and I think when you're shopping, you tend to look for the numbers that make sense to you. But until you actually try stuff, it's hard to know what actually goes on. I had an AC-15, which was like ridiculously loud, super loud, super stupid loud. 15 watts, definitely louder than my Princetons, which I forget. Like people say Princetons are 15 watts, and they say
14.
They're 8. Then they say they're 12, and they say they're 14.
I'm enjoying the comment section. These people are having actually a pretty decent discussion about tubes. I was waiting for someone to correct someone because they said all tubes are like all tubes are Chinese.
So
that's Russian.
Yeah, there's Russian too.
Yeah,
there's someone said something
Slovakian.
earlier. We were talking about the Monoprice. The other thing I want to see about a Monoprice, and don't get me wrong, I think the amps are very cool, especially for the price point. But because they have to make them in such mass quantities, I want to see their failure rate.
Oh yeah.
Like I want to know how many of them get returned, are broken, they have to replace. I think if you check the comment section on any video about them, like on my videos about them, check the comment section and you'll see people who say like, I had one a week and it stopped working. Yeah.
And you can probably measure it that way and get a pretty good bead on the failure rate, because I don't think they're doing enough quality control on a $230 amp to figure out if it's close to failing at the factory.
I don't know if you could really use that as a measurement, because more people are going to talk about it whenever it fails than if it like is just working as normal though. You'd have to be able to track. I mean, if you track their sale, like if you're able to see how many they sold,
I think it could give you an idea.
Well, yeah.
If you compare it to any other video about any other amp, like go find a video for any other amp that's got similar amount of plays and look to see if people are complaining about them failing on them. People say,
Yeah,
like,
and are they like different
Yeah.
people on different videos? Are the same people spamming the same videos?
I
Are they
don't-
different?
I'll be
Like-
honest with you guys, I don't care that much right now.
And I think the real question needs to be, how has Monoprice, when they've approached Monoprice about it,
Yeah.
what has Monoprice done
mm,
about, somebody saying, hey, after a week this went out. Now
They should
here's
attack him and make a post about it.
here's a little thing I've been thinking about with the Monoprice. I'm actually thinking about either A, getting a Monoprice, or B, I can get an old amp that I had back in the 90s, which was a Crate GT80. You can find those every now and then on eBay or like Reverb, and they sell for like $120. It used to be an $800 amp, but Crate's no longer around. But this thing had solid state and tube. You could choose between the two. At the time, I didn't care for it, but at that time, I was a teenager, so, it was like, I don't care about tubes. Now I'm a totally different guy.
Yeah, I see
so that
these.
might be something to look at.
I'm seeing these all over used listings through Google for 99 to 150. There's one for 250. But yeah, they just have a really standard 90s Crate sort of look to them. But you're saying that they're tube and solid state. That is
Yeah,
interesting.
you have a little button that you could switch between the two, and
That's
it was
weird.
kind of neat.
Huh.
I like I think we're gonna see. I think we'll see a return to the old Music Man format of the solid state power section with a tube preamp. And I know it's kind of been tried again a couple of times in the past, but it failed because everybody was
Didn't
still.
Bogner-
But my
Bogner did
tubes.
that?
Yeah, Bogner did one.
Fender,
Linesix did one.
the Champ 25 is that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
'Cause
yeah, they had the
it has a
Bogner
tube
Line
rectifier.
6.
I think here's my prediction. People have been saying my entire life, like, oh, eventually the tube factories are going to shut down, and eventually it probably will happen.
Nah, Behringer will make them.
But if that ever happens, or if they even become scarce, where it's like, oh, you can't get into a tube amp for under $2,000 or whatever anymore, I think we'll see a kind of cork sniffer return to good solid state, because there's a lot of good sounds that can come out of high quality solid state. And the fact that solid state became the catch-all for all budget cheap guitar amps for a long time kind of ruined its name. I would love to see like a boutique solid state amp company come out and become desirable and be like, here it is. Here it
Tech
is.
21 is kind of that, like the Sans and Tech 21 that has it built in. Like the pedals are like amp sims now. You could just build that into the unit, the solid state unit, and
So
like
it has
amp
been-
sim.
It has been done. Quilter. I mean, Ryan, you were pretty into Quilter.
Yeah.
there.
The quilters are great. But like, I think the issue is that like Tech 21 and Quilter and stuff like that, the aesthetic that they go for is aiming at people who are cool with like tech nerdy stuff. Like someone needs to come out with like the Benson equivalent of a solid state amp,
Yeah.
Kimber?
Im's
May
de
has
Bruin.
the amp that just has the preamp too, but that's ish.
The Roland Blues cubes are pretty good.
I like
they
them.
are.
At like
But
getting the tube
one?
sound or reaction like thing the tube does out of a solid state, but they cost the same as a tube amp, so might as well get a tube amp.
What was
And the
it?
aesthetic is off, like I'm talking about like someone coming out being like, I've come up with a really great like boutique version of a solid state amp. It's got fancy Tolex. It looks like it belongs in an arty coffee house, something like that.
People would just shit all over it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
but-
What
if you
about
think-
the
They would just say, "Why don't I get a katana?"
Yeah, like just I'd be like, why
get a
don't I
katana.
just get a Tone Master for that
Yeah.
price? You know,
Well, okay,
Just
Roland
all kinds
Blues
of dumb
cube.
shit.
I mean, that's kind of
Right.
a good point too with the Tone Masters and all that. Like, I mean, Fender did that. They did solid state, but they have a pretty hefty price tag on it. They sound great.
I thought it was hefty. I was in a store a couple of days ago, and they had the Tone Masters. They had new Fender, and a 65 reissue deluxe reverb's going for $1,700 now, and the Tone Master was sitting next to it at $999. I'm like, that price doesn't look so bad anymore.
And pick them up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
pick them
I
up,
like
that's
I
it.
like gigging with the Tone Master Super Reverb
Oh
because
my gosh.
people be like, "Hey, you need help with that?" I'd be like, "Nope," and just whoosh.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would love. You could just mess with people.
see people actively wince, like dudes actively wince when they're just like, "Oh, her back. Oh, wait."
And you make sure to lift with your back. Like people are like,
Yeah.
wow, she's using really bad posture to do that. Like
Emily, I've got an idea. You could do like almost like a Impractical Jokers type thing with like using a Tone Master and then a real one. Like be like, oh yeah, this is no problem, and pick it up, and the guy's like struggling to pick it up.
and then hold like a bunch of corn nuts in your teeth and crunch them when you stand up. Just
And pray they don't break your
Oh my
teeth.
gosh.
Oh, nuts are
Oh my
terrible.
God. I don't need a ton of help getting my joints to pop. Don't worry, guys.
We're all getting older.
when I
No fun.
when I was at Sweetwater and I tried the Tone Master next to the Tube Super Reverb, like once you physically pick it up with your hand, it's like, man, I don't know. Like it would be really hard for me to convince myself to buy the Tube version when I can just pick this up and run out of here, no sweat.
Yeah.
And I know I can throw it in my car, move it in and out of my house. Like it does sound different.
Ryan had planned the theft already.
It's not 100%, but it's like the weight difference, like that's gonna make huge differences in people's purchase decisions when they can try them in person in stores and be like, oh man, I kind of like the Tube one, and then they pick it up and like, man, it's really heavy. Then they pick up the Tone Master to move it and like, yeah, that's the one I'm taking home. Like I can't justify that heavy like bag of bricks that is a regular.
You gotta buy the thing that you can actually like take places and play and use. Because like the thing is, like, if you can't use it, what's the point of having it? Like, if I cannot like by myself take this to a show, what is the damn point of owning it? Because I don't.
There's a
Just
reason
tell
I
them,
have-
don't be a girly man.
There's a reason I have 2 dollies because
Some people have back problems, man.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't have the physical capability.
just
to
walk
carry
it out.
everything.
No, I'm with Phillip on the dollies. I've got one of the dollies that like turns into a cart,
Mhm.
and it's like the great. I saw someone have. I was.
They're
playing
great until you hit stairs.
I've got this dolly with
They do help on stairs.
beautiful red hair, and I love to braid it. And
Yeah.
But the stairs is a good point. I do play this one venue that has the narrowest, most awful outdoor stairs as the only entry to the venue. But I know when I play there, I'm not taking a head and a 212. I'm taking my 112 combo and my Captor X and going to run it that way to the PA so that I don't have to worry about it. But I had this revelation after playing the Helix for a while and playing smaller rigs for a while that I don't do this professionally, so I don't gig that often. So when I do gig anymore, I take the gear that makes me excited to play. And so that has started to mean bigger gear, but that's me. That's me accepting that I in my busiest years anymore pre-COVID, I was gigging, I don't know, 30, 40 times a year. And so to me, I was willing to take that gear,
Yeah. Ryan, can you pull that comment back up? Because I want to do something.
what do you?
Now I'm terrified.
The definition of approximately is used to show that something is almost but not completely accurate or exact, roughly. I don't think that
he's
was used.
underselling it.
I don't know if
It's
that word was used.
literally approximately 7,000 pounds.
Literally approximately 7,000 pounds.
It's literally approximately every time, 70% of the time, 7,000 pounds.
It works.
Someone
60%
on
of the time it
TikTok
works every time.
someone said on TikTok they wouldn't take advice from someone with 4,000K worth of gear.
I
Like,
saw that.
4,000K? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's
$4 million.
Yeah, that
Th-
broke
those
my brain
numbers-
for a second there.
those numbers are insane.
I was like, one, I think it's really weird to just like not. One, I wasn't giving. First, let's start this. I wasn't giving advice. Like, he was responding to something that was not advice. So I don't know why
did you put a disclaimer on there?
Not taking advice. Two, definitely not $4 million worth of gear behind me. And if he was talking about $4,000 worth of gear behind me, either estimate's very wrong.
Right.
Hold on.
Three, if I had $4 million.
He doesn't want to see my videos then because now he's looking at $4,000 worth of gear in front of me. It's like $4,000 isn't what it used to be.
No.
$3,000.
Exactly. It's not what it used to be.
No, it's not. Like
If-
that.
but-
$2,500.
I tried
I got
one.
this in my mystery stocking.
$1,700. $25.
Even I have $4,000 behind me in that little pile right here.
Listen, I have
one account.
Talk
I have-
about guitar pedals.
I have
Yeah.
5 Gear Supply Co. light drives behind me. That's got to be at least
That's gotta be
$4,000.
worth. That's gotta
Got
be.
to be.
That's
Gotta
gotta be worth.
Listen,
like
that-
that'd put some kids through college, man.
Friggin'
But like I was like, both of your
2,000
estimates are wrong. And oh man, if I had $4 million, I wouldn't be spending on guitar stuff. I'd actually have a house.
if I had $4 million, I would literally stop working.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything anymore.
I wouldn't be doing this.
I would
You
make.
fucking
Wait.
serious?
What do they say? I would make my money work for me.
Right.
No, I wouldn't even do
I
that.
don't know.
I would figure. I'd do the math. I'd be like, okay, that gets me. Even if it got me 50,000 a year for the rest of my life, I'm like, I can make that work. I'm just gonna chill out.
I don't.
Just gonna chill out. Do
Let's
nothing.
see, 4 million. Let's just make that 2 million.
Wait, how did
because-
we just make that 2 million? Was it? Are we taxes?
Yeah, I'm just doing
Okay.
taxes.
I was like,
That's fair.
taxes and
all right,
favors.
okay.
So Ryan's like in his 30s. You're like in your 30s, right?
I'm squarely 40. I'm 40.
40.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
So maybe
Right,
I
so
maybe I
you
have
got
30 years. Maybe I have 40 years. Maybe I have 15 years. Who
I
knows?
would say divide 2 million by 40. That's
So make-
$50,000 a year. Yeah.
Wow, I
So
guess
make sure.
And that's
You guessed
without
it, like,
interest. That's without
it's not
that's
interest.
without investing it in just getting interest. That's just
You know?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
I
it
mean-
all on Dogecoin, baby.
oh my.
I just bought
the
some more
moon.
ETH.
Oh my gosh.
Make a point to go and hit Brian's members tab, and then hit join his Patreon, and then make sure to also hit him up on OnlyFans.
Oh, you guys know about the OnlyFans? Oh, I thought I was the
That's
only
only
one.
for a few people, and it makes me a lot of money with those few
Yeah.
people.
Why do you think I'm broke all the time? It has nothing to do with guitar gear. It has to do with,
Well,
I keep spending
yes.
money on Ryan's
I'm
OnlyFans.
glad I've only had to disqualify one person from the contest I'm running right now.
I gotta say,
Oh my
something that has surprised me a little
I
bit.
don't
I've done a
know.
couple of videos with the Tone King so far, and I've got one launching tomorrow too that has it. I haven't had anyone like flip out and complain and be like, well, of course it sounds good. He's got this expensive amp and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if that's going to start, or if I like, because I've been like recognizing it in the videos. Like, here, I'm using this amp. Of course it's going to sound good. It better sound good. It's $2,600, right? And
Right.
so I think like calling it out maybe is softening that a bit. But
I see that in like demos in the dark comments a
Yeah.
lot too. Like
Yeah.
I kind of like, should I always use the Benson in the videos now that I have it?
but then, like,
Probably not.
technically-
Yeah, but why? But who cares? Why? I like this whole thing. It's like it's ridiculous. Like because if that's your preference and that's what you feel, so as you guys as content creators, I'm sure that one of your goals is to make it sound not as great. I mean, you want it to sound as great as it can. You want to
Right.
let that product shine. You're not gonna you're not gonna do anything to make it sound better than it actually is. But what you can get, and if that's the gear that you're using, everyone just needs to shut up. Who cares?
That's why you give your clean sound first.
yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of that.
Like
Yeah.
technically, like very few people ever complained about the two Princeton's rig. If you buy the two Princeton's rig, that's like $2,200.
A lot of money. Oh, it's
Like-
more than that now. It's more than that now.
I think
Yeah.
we're going to see. I'm predicting we see quad 6v6 amps come down out of like the premium boutique range. So you would have a half power switch correct for the impedance, and it's like when you pull two tubes from your Showman.
Oh,
So you have essentially a two Princeton in one. Click on your quad, add a extension speaker, and then everybody emerges from COVID. Whoever wanted to buy the giant stuff that everyone was getting rid of has it, and they can take it to the next show.
Okay.
But everybody has like a hybrid, not a hybrid topology, but a hybrid headroom level. And also I've just been building amps recently, just kind of getting into it. And I never really liked JJ 6L6s. I found they sounded sort of harsh and flubby, but the JJ 6V6s sound really, really good. So you have off the shelf Russian stuff that you can just buy for $18 and whatever. plenty, and your 66 stuff sounds amazing, and everyone went small during COVID. I just feel like the big guys that'll pop out a quad 66 with a half power where it's like pulling the inner or the outer. I feel like that's a market.
Well, that's like, sorry, I'm gonna. It's a flex. I know. I'm sorry. My 2-Rock has the 50-watt switch, and that's exactly what it is.
Every time.
Sorry,
This
I have to throw it
2-Rock,
out there.
I was on this first date this one time, and Phillip called and said, "Did you tell her about my 2-Rock yet?" I said, "No, Phillip, not yet."
And that's why you didn't get a second date.
That was the end of that one.
So I do want to mention one of the comments. Stephen Burkett back here said if he had that much money, he'd make a tube factory. First of all, that's not going to even get you the equipment to get the tube factory. But the real problem with tubes in the U.S. is EPA regulations. You're not going to be able to run an environmentally not eligible, whatever the word, viable tube factory in the US for a very low price. It's going to be very, very, very expensive. That's why there's been, in the last 5 years, I think there's been 3 different companies try to get one started off the ground. There is a tube making equipment floating around the US. People keep buying it, thinking they're going to be the one who restarts American tube manufacturing. And it's just not going to work.
If Mike Matthews hasn't done it yet, it's not happening.
That's exactly right.
Really point, honestly.
Listen, if the only person I feel like that could pull it off is Mike Matthews, because he's crazy enough to go down that road.
Right.
Apparently he says he'd do it in Mexico. I still don't even know if that would fly, but I don't know what their regulations look like.
There's a comment I want to address because actually I am a professional in this. Why do McDonald's employees always act like their job is on the line when I ask for extra sauce? As a person who manages a fast food restaurant, you have to understand those restaurants are in the penny profit business. There's not a whole lot of profit. And like to actually have a viable franchise or anything like that, you have to own at least 5 restaurants to make any sort of money. Ooh. And so if you think about it, say the cost of a barbecue sauce at Burger King, our cost on it is probably about 3 cents. That's why we charge 10 cents whenever you want to buy an extra one. But it's all about, and you think about it, that's right there is still 30% cost almost. And 30% cost, 30% on your rent, utilities, electric, 30% in labor, and then 2% off the top to burger or to whoever you work for, their franchise fees. And then you've got administrative costs and all that. You're making barely any money.
Dia's coming in hard.
What is this, a Burger King podcast?
It just became one. Listen, I am an expert on very few things, and running restaurants is it. So, not even guitars.
I cycle hum.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, we should probably do a 60 cycle yum together somehow.
It would make sense. But
are you all gonna eat chicken sandwiches? Is that what's
call
going
it true
on?
bypass?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Triple bypass.
There should be a pedal that's fast food themed called the True Bypass or the Triple True Bypass.
The triple, like the triple. All right, so there was actually a pedal that from a company that I was. If you do like a 3 in 1 out, it's a triple. Call it a triple bypass.
Yeah.
JHS is already making one. He's listening in. He's already on it. It'll be out next week.
I know triple true bypass. That's more like Wampler humor right there. I think.
Yeah. So at NAMM, did you see the company that had the pedals that were, they were just like, they literally had a pedal that had the McDonald arches on it. Everything was a American pop culture reference. And it was at the Delicious Audio booth. And I was talking to the rep, the Delicious Audio rep that was showing them. He said, yeah, we saw these. And I've already told him he's got to rebrand all of these.
Well, didn't Westminster have the Chick-fil-A?
Yeah. They've got it in my local shop here in town. It's still there.
So they still have the Chick-fil-A. But they had to change the artwork. They had to get rid of the Chick-fil-A font.
Yeah.
And they sent Cody coupons for free food.
That's awesome.
They really did.
You can get away with that stuff for a little while if you're a small builder, but eventually, like, you're going to catch attention and then you have to change.
I put in a complaint on Chick-fil-A today, believe it or not.
Did you?
Oh.
Yeah. I ordered chicken nuggets. That's all I ordered was chicken nuggets today. And I get home and none of my sauces were in the bag.
That's why you got to check in the. You have to check in the line.
You not at Chick-fil-A. You shouldn't have to. They've got the Lord on their side, and they should be able to. Like that's not like. Come on. I mean, Burger King. Sure, we're probably in the back doing like Ouija boards, but like, come on, that's not okay.
God's
Oh,
grace
man.
ends right at that
Maybe
right at that drive line or that drive-through line.
I don't think
You can't
so.
see any.
I'm not driving back through for sauce.
I did. I went back.
Like once
You gotta
I'm
walk in and
done.
just be like, "Excuse me."
But they
I
gave me
did not get my
coupons.
sauce.
They gave me coupons for free desserts for the next time I go. So I was like, okay.
But that's not that doesn't solve the problem. That you still have the sauce. You have sauceless nuggets.
No, I went back.
it
I went back
kinda-
and got the sauce. It's like,
But also Chick-fil-A is not that good anyway. So
don't
Bam.
you? Hey, you shut your
Bam.
dirty mouth. You
Bam.
shut your dirty mouth.
It's
They're-
not that
Yeah,
good.
Their portions are so
That's a
small.
chicken sandwich, guys.
The nuggets
No,
are so
sandwich,
small.
The nuggets are bomb.
Rind and pickle juice. It's whatever.
exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You should not need sauce to make your chicken edible. Done.
No.
Yeah. It's not even dry, so like
Yeah.
The
It's not-
patties, there's not
Really
enough
dry,
food
I
for
would-
what you pay.
There isn't.
I don't wanna
There's
talk
not
about
enough
this.
food for what you pay.
The waffle fries,
homophobic.
the waffle fries are legit because it's mostly air you're paying for. Like you get like 6 fries in the thing. Like it's like you get regular French fries and they can cram them in. There's a ton of them. But waffle fries, like you get a couple big
Right.
ones and that's all you got. You're way
I am.
overpaying at Chick-fil-A.
I
And
I
will
if
had,
you-
a
say-
roommate, I had a roommate who she won a race in Nashville, and one of the prizes was a bunch of 100 free Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And she's like, "I am a vegan. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I win races." Like,
They
she won
got
the prize.
salads there.
And no, it was only for the sandwiches.
I
You can get a
that was-
salad
it was-
sandwich.
I've
Okay.
given the shake.
So
Chick-fil-A.
what my husband did on the last day they were valid is he just like walked through the Chick-fil-A line and just like handed them out to people.
Oh, that's
just,
cool.
like,
Nice.
to distribute
Yeah,
them
that's
amongst
nice.
I like
everyone.
hand
So
them out,
that Chick-fil-A was like, what is
hand them
that?
out at the gay pride parade.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Don't pay them. It's for free.
Like sending you
You
everyone.
have to give them
on
your
the
money.
same day.
Listen, I'm gonna quote Wanda Sykes on this one. Or not, it wasn't Wanda Sykes, it was the other guy in Clark Sue. You can't taste hate. You can't taste hate. But no,
You definitely taste love.
you can't taste love.
I'm just now sitting here wondering if it's too early to go walk to Dick's and get a burger.
A burger sounds great right now. I have no idea what I'm doing for dinner. I
Bag of
did
Dick's.
that last night. I might end up doing it again tonight because I don't want to cook.
I'm smoking chicken, so all you guys are invited if you want.
Nice. I
All
ordered.
right. I don't know where you're at, but I'm on my way.
I
Yeah,
ordered a new
Kakalaki.
smoker.
Diaz knows your location. Wants to know your location.
Yeah, if,
Oh, God.
I'm smoking something.
I ordered a new smoker recently, and I think I'm going to turn it into a 60 cycle yum video and like retire my old smoker by like pushing it into being like a grease fire box because it's got like 10 years of grease built up in it.
you could have
Oh.
given that to a starving child.
Degree.
Just
Could have
scrape
given
all
that to someone trying to start up their own food YouTube channel, and they could make videos.
Hey kids, come over here. I'm going to scrape all this smoky grease out of here for you to
Yeah.
eat.
You better not have thrown away those aardvark bottles with any sauce left in them.
No,
Yes,
I'm
grape
us
the
something to put
sky.
in.
There could have been there
No.
to be some YouTube kid. Like, shut up. Get out of here.
I'm almost out of the habanero sauce,
Oh,
and then I'm going to start working through the others. But the habanero sauce has been going on a lot lately. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna be bummed when I run out.
I think my alcohol's here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Is he
I,
gonna- Damn it.
I got hit up by what is it? I think not Golden Spoon. Is it Golden Spoon? Like the adult cereal company?
Oh yeah.
oh.
Magic Spoon?
Magic spoon.
Magic Spoon. They hit us up over email like a week ago, and I was like, I think you're randomly emailing us because we're a guitar channel, but I
No,
did-
that's
Like,
how
I
they
like where you're going
advertise.
with this. I like where you're going with
They're
this.
like all YouTube. That's how they advertise.
I do food content, and here's my stats, and they're like, okay, we're gonna look at everything and we'll get back to you, and that was like a week ago. I haven't
Oh,
heard-
shut up. This looks tasty.
They do it on a bunch of political shows. Like they don't care if it has to do with food.
right. But like I'll fully just like
Building
do
all
a
this dish.
cereal.
They're always like, it tastes exactly like the cereal the name brand cereal. I'm like, no, it doesn't. But that's okay. But I can't imagine. It's not even the same shape or flavor.
But I mean, it looks pretty delicious though. Like zero grams of sugar, no added stuff. That's I'm a fan.
If it's crunchy and it doesn't taste like assholes, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the line you draw.
That's it. Yes.
Ryan, you get one, not both.
Yes, I already told you that's my line.
I'm sure it's fine.
Funny enough, that's their tagline.
Oh my god.
I love holding on. You guys know you're streaming, right? Yes. Yes. We do.
Oh man.
At very least, you'll get free cereal for like your kids.
Oh, I
love this. You guys.
I identify with that
crazy
frog as that little icon. Oof.
I haven't even looked
Feel
at the
that.
product yet. Magic Spoon.
We're all
It's just
gonna be on
delicious
here
looking
with-
cereal.
While
That's what
y'all
it
are
looks
Googling, I think it's funny that anyone tuned into this live stream thinking it would actually stay on guitars. Like,
The fact it was on amps really hardcore for a while was impressive.
yeah, exactly. We stayed on it way
We
longer
haven't
than
even-
I expected.
We haven't even talked about
We-
animal genitalia.
Let me bring you back. Let me bring you back.
Cocoa powder.
Round robin, okay? Let me
Turmeric?
bring you back.
What?
Yeah, that
That's
magic spoon stuff
anti-inflammatory. What's up?
looks legit good. Like it looks really, really amazing. So hopefully they hit me up. Maybe I should just buy some if they don't hit me up.
Let me bring you back on gear. Who round robin? Who would enjoy testing out a pedal with no knobs, just switches, high, low, whoever built it? Those are the sounds. Click, click, deal with it.
I
What
would say
about
that's close-
volume?
I mean, that's close to the Albi kind of thing, but yeah. Well, Albi's got knobs, but like, yeah, it's set it and
That
it's
sounds
like,
fun.
yeah, I enjoy. So I was just talking with Scott, the co-host on my podcast, The Effects Loop, that you can find.
Oh,
on
Scott
any of your-
Hamilton? I know his name.
Scott, I know his name. But no, we were just talking about that because Big Ear Pedals is a sponsor of our show, and we got some Albies in, and it was we got to mess with them. And me and him are kind of polar opposites. I love where I don't get option paralysis. I just play it and make noise, and like I kind of play what vibe I'm getting from the pedal. And he's more of a tweaker, methamphetamines. And then
Hard drugs. What's up?
but yeah. So he likes to mess with pedals, and he's kind of like, I kind of felt limited. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. And he was like, oh yeah. So
No,
but-
you just turn it on and it's good to go. Like I've been using
Right.
the Albi at church a lot, and it's great for that.
exactly. It's got that whole new wave thing.
Super new wavy. Super.
So my favorite pedal right now. Currently, it has no knobs. It's that cabinet right there. It's a,
It's not a pedal.
it's a rotating speaker.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Doesn't count.
It has no knobs. It has a switch that goes fast and slow, and that is it.
I
That's
know.
all it's got.
Well,
I like that Boss Dimension. That's just like buttons.
yeah. There you go. The Dimension
yeah.
C.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
they have good. They have like all the
Oh, yeah.
sounds are good.
I wish
Uh,
one of those mini pedal companies would come out with a Dimension chorus that is it's a finger size and it just has 4 little flick switches on it, and that's 4 little push buttons. Like that would be so great. The Dimension chorus sounds so cool, but the fact that it like this thing with 4 switches and a foot switch on it needs to take up like a full space pedal is stupid to me. Like the moment
Yeah.
someone comes out with a Dimension that's got a mini enclosure, like I'm all over it.
Ooh, I want AWOL should do that.
Oh
Totally.
yeah, I bet he totally
That would-
would.
Oh my gosh.
He would be the little tiny, the little
Yeah,
square.
the little square.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd
Yeah.
be beautiful.
Oh, hold on.
He
I'm gonna
could put a-
message him right now.
He could. It's a foot switch on the top, and then a little mini
And then the
flick
little
switch
thing on
on
the side.
each side.
Yeah.
Just
Oh my
one
god. Hold,
side.
hold on. I'm gonna send AWOL. I'm gonna be like, we're talking on 60 cycle hum right now.
Or
He's
even like the Chase Bliss style, like the little dip switches that are on like the
Yeah.
top of the like even something like that. Because if you have like the sound that you want,
Yeah,
that's all you need. You
that would be
just
perfect.
done.
Yeah, the little dip switch bank, it would be perfect.
See,
Yeah.
I like options.
I have the
but
TC
I don't
Electronic
care either way.
copy of the Dimension. It's good.
Was that a
Nature's
Kia
Child.
Soul, Damien?
What's
I
up?
think that was a Kia Soul that you held up.
It's almost the same color as them. If you that's
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Strymon
Geo Metro.
specifically was like, listen, Kia, come on.
We love it. We
Hey,
love
come
it.
on.
Benson had it first. Let's be honest.
The color will be in churches all over the world.
Okay, what if? All right, hold on. I'm still on the A wall pedal. What if he did it and he had like a knob, but it like had like it was like 4 clicks. Like
Oh yeah.
Well, no,
Well, no, you'd need more because you
No?
gotta have the combinations. You gotta have the combinations.
Oh.
Like you can do
that's
1 and
true,
3,
yeah.
1 and 4, 2 and
Well,
3.
yeah, you could do. I mean, it could do more than 4 clicks. Then I don't know. I'm not the
what's
click
the-
master.
What's the
Yeah,
Dan
but-
Electro pedal that has the 6 stations that just came out?
The which one? Who?
The Dan Electro. It's like $200. It has like it just 6 click.
I think that's a dream you had.
No, it's not.
Okay.
it's
I saw it in a vision.
it's like recreating like the Jimmy Page pedal.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's new.
It's a drive. Isn't it a drive?
Yeah.
It's one
And
of the
then
guys with the red one with the yellow knobs.
there's no knobs, and it's just 6 like stations because they said they picked the 6 sounds they liked, and
Yeah.
they wanted people to be able to go right back to it.
It's the
Yes.
breakdown. No,
Yeah, breakdown. It's the breakdown. That's it. Yeah,
is that what it's called?
yeah, breakdown. I think it is called that.
It's one knob and one 5-way switch or 6-way switch.
Yeah,
I like
Yeah.
simplicity.
and I like that.
I would try. Honestly, I'll try just about anything. Have you seen the TikToks of what's
for
his
you, John.
name? Something.wave. Like he literally drops electrodes in like a bottle of beer, and it's like I'm playing my guitar through beer, and just to see what it sounds like.
Let's see. Someone said I really want a cocked wah pedal. Such a cool sound. Honestly, the EHX cockfight is
It exists.
it is like, but it's like it's perfect price, perfect everything for that sound in my opinion.
I had the cockfight and it was a lot of fun, but then I found the way I was using it the most was by plugging in an expression pedal and
using it as a wah.
which made it the biggest wall on the planet.
Yeah.
So,
So JHS made the haunting mids, which is essentially the same concept. With
Right,
a little more options, but I
Right.
was actually pissed off at the haunted mids because it didn't have an expression to be the most versatile wah pedal ever.
Because
what
it
I
wasn't
want?
actually haunted.
So
I wanted a Victorian spirit inside that pedal, tormenting me while I slept. Damn it! Come
No,
on.
None
had
of the excuses in my house turned upside down. Like 0 stars.
I want my kid to turn to me and say, "They're here." Like that's what
Oh my
I
God.
need.
Has anyone ever heard of? It's like Janico. I have a auto wah that's like the best auto wah I ever had. It was like a guitar fetish pedal or something. It's like Janico or something.
I don't know. I still want to.
So
I still
good.
want the Keeley Neutrino.
It's just they just put the wah in a knob, so like you can
Right.
do the whole wave, but it's fixed. So it's just like going up and down with your wah, but it's on a knob for you, so you don't have to.
So I had a
It's awesome.
I had a Richie Kotzen telly, and I had the wiring. I had a wiring kit made by Gun Street Wiring, and I told him, I said, I don't use my tone knob. I just never have been a player that uses his tone knob. And I sat there and I was like, what could we do there? And we actually made it kind of like a filter.
Nice.
And so what it would do is you could feel it kind of lock in place in the center, and then you can go left or right. And I could get it like a cocked wah sound out of it. It was killer.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
There's a company that I want to see make like an ultimate wah expression sort of thing. I want to see Chase Bliss make a wah pedal.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I know it would be like $800 or something like that, but like a wah pedal with a couple knobs on the side, the dip switch bank, you can turn it into expression, you can turn it into wah, you can do all this crazy stuff with wah. Like you could control maybe like how like the waveform shape of the wah goes, reverse it or something like
That'd
that.
be
Like
insane, yeah.
all sorts of wild, crazy stuff you could do with it. You use wah and expression at the same time. Like there's something there. Also, I want to see Line 6 come out with a standalone wah that like just like does all sorts of modeling stuff. Like I think those two companies could do wild.
Didn't Keeley make a really interesting one that's like a standalone pedal with an expression that was super Keeley. I thought Keeley did one.
Well, Boss had the VWAH at some point. I don't remember. But I remember that being like pretty like customizable, I think.
Right.
But I don't remember how. But
You can call
They
it the
could automate it.
dyslexic.
Chase Bliss will automate it, and it'll
Yeah.
actually be haunted because there'll be a servo in there.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
I still wish that the Source Audio hot hand would have been a lot bigger than it was. Because that was just crazy. I remember seeing that in Guitar World magazine, like the actual printed magazine, is the like handheld expression. And there's people who are putting something out that like that now. And
Also,
And-
like if TC
It's like $50
Electronic, like TC Electronic is not at their prime right now, but like say rewind like 5 or 6 years, if they had done a wah with tone print stuff,
Oh,
Oh.
my gosh.
listen, you would have been like Kirk Hammett 1 setting, Kirk Hammett 2 setting, Kirk Hammett 3 setting, Kirk Hammett 4 /.
And wait, all those Kirk Hammetts are the same setting. They're just the different pedals he has around the stage.
but like
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
in
Those
the,
are,
in the,
those are all just expression pedals that control his rack.
Yeah.
in the
unit,
tone
right?
print software, you could do all kinds of wild stuff with like changing the range of each control and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
what if you had a wah where it was like it was a manual tremolo where from the heel it's full volume, at the toe is full volume, but in between is all the ripples of volume control, and it only happens when you're rocking it, and you can change the
Oh,
speed.
yeah.
Or you could also have a built-in fuzz unit in as well. So as you wah up, it increases the gain. So
Right,
you're constantly riding gain at the same. Oh, you could do cool things.
I feel like the answer to this is just getting like some line 6 like floor
Yeah,
units,
yeah.
just, like
Yeah.
fucking just meh.
There's a lot of cool concepts that you could do around wah, but just like wah isn't in fashion enough for those companies to
Yeah.
tackle it. I think. I don't think Chase Bliss cares if an effect is in fashion. If Joel gets the itch to do it, he's going to do it.
But Joel also discontinued the brothers like his most straight ahead drive pedal because the straight ahead stuff doesn't work with them. It's like it wasn't selling.
People want the weird
Yeah.
stuff from them. 100% for sure.
Honestly, if he'll just start saying every pedal's limited, it'll just always tick his sales up.
Well, I think
I know he won't.
assume that they are.
Yeah, I think he's become that way. Like you never know if it's going to stay or not.
I think they're still such a small operation, but has like they make enough sales that like they can only sell so many models at a time. And when they come out with a model that is selling really well, then something's got to go because it takes up that workspace.
Right.
It's like a great brewery that only has so many vats for so many different beers they're making.
Exactly.
I can bring everything back to beer. This is my job here.
or you want to go to a restaurant with like 12 things on the menu, not 400.
Yeah.
So Matthew Perkins just super chatted $5. Thank you, Matthew. And he says, "Are you trying to say Philip McKnight's live?" I think he's trying to say, "Are you trying to steal Philip McKnight's live stream crowd?" like every Friday that comes around where I feel like, oh, I could do a live stream. I think about it and like, oh man, I don't want to like compete with Phil. Like I don't worry about stealing from him, but I don't want to compete with him.
I mean, let's be real. Who has the more compelling content right now? Like, we're talking about hypothetical wah pedals and cereal.
I know.
Let's be real here. Let's be real here. Come on.
Let's be
Come
real.
on.
There's
Come on.
75 people watching this. I bet by this point, 4:00 in the afternoon, he has 750 people watching his.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm not worried about.
It's magic cereal. Magic.
I'm not worried
But-
about stealing
but
from
the
him.
viewers watching now mean more.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
They're more important,
Heck
aren't they? Yeah.
I'm gonna go start my own live stream. I'll see you
I'd
guys
say
later.
they're the most. They're the most important.
You said 75 people are watching this. That's pretty much a higher viewer count than 90% of my videos on my channel. So
Hey,
you
same
got-
here.
Wait, you guys have videos on your channel?
We should start a
Yes.
club.
Oh, you're supposed to do that.
I don't have a channel.
Unless I do something on Harley Benton or Chipson's. If I do one of those two, then they just shoot up through the roof.
We even have a little set. Like I even have a little like thing I do for Harley Benton on our show. Like anytime I have this little jingle I do, and I emailed them. I was like, hey,
Oh my gosh, guys, I was wrong. 1,200 people are watching Phil McKnight right now.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
there's-
I thought you meant this. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Follow
you
me on
got me.
Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Damien.m.guitar.
Right.
Yeah,
Get those numbers pumped up, baby.
those are rookie numbers. We gotta pump those numbers up.
I have compelling content where
So-
I make short form videos about small pedals, and that's it.
Robert, you do indeed. Actually, yeah, Damien does great pedal demos.
Thank you.
Yeah, like my videos get like what I think, I'll do a demo of a pedal. It'll be like short because I'm doing these short demo things now, right? And it's like 40 views, 50 views. I do a demo of the Epiphone Firebird where I just bullshit for 30 minutes, 7,000 views. I was like, what?
That's how it works.
It's always the low effort stuff that you didn't really spend any time on that just blows up, and you can never recapture it. It's just like
so the weird thing for us is, so we don't do any really YouTube content. Like, it's not a big push for us. But we with Podbean, we upload just the Podbean thing to YouTube. And like we did an episode, and I think we called it like In the Finger Lakes People Go Missing. Like, it was an Office reference. And no joke, it like just there was like 1,200 views within like a week.
People thought it was like a true crime thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah, they're
Oh
like, what
God.
is this asshole doing talking about guitar stuff?
And the
Guitar true
exactly.
crime.
I thought this was a true crime. What? No.
How long before someone in his chat tells him this is happening?
And we're
On
Be
this
right
chat.
back.
now.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
people can watch this stream and not miss Phil. So
we're gonna. Can we have an internet rumble?
Like a live commentary.
Ryan, we're
I'm
doing
so accommodating, Ryan.
we're doing it. Invite Phil on here. Internet rumble. Ryan's already got a whole gang.
I will say that
It's us versus Phil.
I
just want to say right off the bat that I'm friends with Phil McKnight, and I really value him as a person. And
I don't think any of us are being serious
at
at all. I don't think any of us are being serious at all.
let's say, you got the taken down.
He will
I do
squash us with
like
his numbers.
the color scheme of that Kiesel, the Crackle one. That one.
Oh yeah, with the green.
I'm a fan of that.
That's
With
fine.
the green pickups and stuff.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Can't
See,
do
now
it,
people
y'all.
can
I
watch
can't
both
do it.
at the same time.
You can with your eyes closed.
Oh God, if he pulled up,
Just focus on me. Just focus
if
on me.
Phil McKnight
Okay.
pulled up Ryan's stream right now, it would just
Oh my
completely
God.
shatter YouTube.
Oh, that would actually that would be wild if he did that, and we would probably catch like 200 people here. Like
It would
minute.
it would be that sound of like
Versailles
your-
Hall of Mirror type thing.
Yeah, your delay is just like in that, just tearing your amp apart in oscillation. Just like
Exactly.
oh no, please. That's when we get sucked into YouTube and we become
Right.
become
Oh,
YouTubers.
that's the singularity right there.
That's the singularity.
Oh my gosh! And someone said do voices for him. Oh hi guys, I'm doing my show right now, and what we're going to talk about is how Ryan sucks over there at 60 Cycle Hum. It's kind of like, do you remember those the shred videos?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
But the best one. Did anyone ever see the John Petrucci Psycho exercises?
Oh,
That's
no,
old
but
school.
I'm
That's
sure.
old school YouTube. That's old school YouTube. This guy overdubbed over John Petrucci's like old like VHS tapes that he was doing, and it's the funniest crap ever.
The Beach Boys one is still the best.
Oh
The
yeah.
Beach Boys shred is still the absolute.
I love
no.
the Santana shreds.
I think the Metallica shred one was my favorite.
Metallica's a
Steve
good
Vai
one too.
shreds. Come on, Steve Vai,
Oh,
when he does
yeah.
like the hair pushback thing. Oh my God. It's so
I had this thought the other day. I commented it on Reddit. I was like, I would legitimately just sit and watch a full supercut of Steve Vai doing nothing but dive bombs and like whammy trills.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Well,
want to see shred. I don't want to listen to him play like his prog rock kind of like weird syrupy moody type stuff. I just want to hear
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. 10 out of 10.
I want a supercut of that lasts like half an hour.
That's all I did when I had like a locking trem on I had an HM Strat. It was an 82 or an 89 HM Strat. It was an amazing guitar. That's all I would do at band practice. Just
that's all they were for. That's all
listen,
you do with them.
just got rock and roll, brother.
So I've got my MJT Strat, and I've got the
Got two
Fender
Floyd
roller.
Roses.
I've got the roller nut, and I do my what is it? My 6th screw floating, and the thing stays in tune great. And yeah, I'm really bad about. I had at one point. I had for like honestly, I had it for 2 weeks and I returned it. I had a Charvel San Dimas, and all I did, and I was playing in church, and all I did was dive bombs. And I was like, I gotta return this because it's all I want to do. Is crazy stuff.
Last time I had a Floyd Rose guitar, I bought an Ibanez like 4 or 5 years ago. It's like I should have an Ibanez with a Floyd Rose in my collection. And it was like, yeah, every other note, I was like, I'm pinch harmonicking and I'm diving and I'm
That's the
pulling.
only way.
And
That's not the one that you you repainted, was it?
No,
You
no.
repaint?
I had to get rid of it because it was so distracting.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it work with anything because I was so tempted to do stupid stuff with it.
You do those like really low, like rumbly or like Ingve arpeggios where you start at like the open E and you're just like, and then you do like that dime bag pinch harmonic, like
no, the whole time
with the whammy. With
the whole time you're
whammy
just doing
and
the
of course
beginning
a delay.
to you're just doing the beginning to girls. You're just making car noises the whole time.
So you guys, we had the comedian David Hill on the podcast. I want to say like 6 months ago or something like that. And I follow him on all sorts of social media things. John Mayer does this thing on TikTok where he posts himself playing. And he's like, "Hey, play along with me." And what Dave Hill does is hilarious. Is he does the stitches or whatever with that video. But he can shred. Dave Hill can freaking shred like crazy. So like John Mayer will start playing and he's sitting there for a second and then he just starts ripping some completely different song over John Mayer playing. And he's like double tapping and like trilling, Floyd Roses and stuff like that. And it's like amazing. And it is like pure guitar comedy, and I really appreciate what he's doing.
I saw. Have you all seen? You have to have if you've been on TikTok. You've seen the Stacey Ryan open verse thing that everybody's singing along to the song, like "Don't Text Me When You're Drunk" thing.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
And
I'm not a
Hank Green. Hank Green duetted it and sang.
Oh,
what the heck?
That was very loud.
Oh, that's the guy trying to show us his wiener.
Oh, that guy.
That was, there it is.
But yeah, Hank Green duetted
Snarky
just
said
singing
$5
All-Star.
I'm sorry. Go on with your Hank Green.
No, I'm completely lost now.
All right.
What just happened?
You were talking
Someone
about the
joined
thing.
in and video of a man.
Yeah, no, that was
just
wild. I'm really glad
that was really small. But
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm really glad it was a small video.
Hold on a sec. Snarky K just super chatted $5. Thank you, Snarky K. There's no message, but
he did just say if everyone on here contributed $3, we could nail that $6,000 mark. Are there 2,000 people watching?
Oh my gosh, he wants people to pee on me. Is what's going on. He wants.
That's only $6,000. I can raise that.
I said on the podcast that for $6,000, I would sit out outside an all-you-can-eat asparagus restaurant and just let people pee on me for an hour, and I still will do that.
For an hour.
You got to be really careful about the things you say on the internet.
For an hour,
for $6,000.
Oh yeah.
Take my wife on like a dream vacation for a week and leave the kids behind, and like for a week, I'll hold
on. With adult supervision, right?
just leave the kids. Like
Henry's in charge.
Here's the smoker. You'll be fine. Here's a smoker and a week's worth of meats. Learn, kid. Let's go.
Survival of the fittest, Henry. Bye.
You gotta call like you're 3 minutes down the road. Dad.
So anyways, to rewind, that guy that I added who started screaming, his thumbnail looked like it was just gonna be like a regular dude. But then at the moment he started screaming, I looked at it and he changed to some video of some dude just jerking it. But it was really
a small video.
It was super tiny over here, so no one's actually going to be.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's something people do. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to come back yet, because usually they try to come back like 15 times or something like that, or they'll be in the comment section trolling with all sorts of like racist comments or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work.
All right.
Not happy times.
Really quick, I'm going to be like an airport, guys. I'm announcing my departure. Y'all have a good night.
Later, Diaz.
Yeah, no, me too. I got to get out of here too. Y'all have a great evening.
All the podcasters are leaving. Ryan, you should leave too. Bye.
I'm just the radio guy, so I guess I don't classify as a podcaster.
Later, y'all.
I'm going to kick Phil out of here.
I don't even have radio, if that makes you feel better.
There we go. I should probably.
No one listens to me.
Oh, now you can see my
cat. Soon too. My kid was complaining, and we have been doing this about an hour and a half. So let's call it 10 more minutes, and we'll wrap this up. So if anyone in the comment section has any big questions, drop them now, and I'll get to them. Huge thanks to everyone who super chatted so far. I never expect that, but it's always a nice surprise. And I do use money. Not everyone knows that. I use money.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For things? For things
I know,
and
for
services?
for things like I buy food and
Oh, you buy food too?
you
Goods
buy
and
food too?
services.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're
I'm a food buyer.
food friends. Food friends.
Food friends. 60 cycle home food friends. Yes.
Food friends. Oh man,
That's the new subgroup.
subgroup food friends. And I wouldn't call it 60 cycle yum. It's 2 on the nose. It's got to be food friends.
Would you like-
Maybe I need a Patreon just for 60 cycle yum, and it will be called Food Friends, and I'll fund food content.
Do it.
That's
Would
so
you like
stupid.
modded Switchcraft 3-way for center position, double as momentary kill switch, springy up and down? That would be kind. So you're saying like it's like on, like engage, and then when you go the other ways, it's because it's kind of just like the Les Paul sort of Gibson trick.
Interesting?
Pop, 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 pop.
that is an interesting idea.
I mean, I've had like those malfunctioning 3-way switches, and they do that anyway, and it's a little annoying. But I'm not really a kill switchy person, so I
mean,
Yeah, me neither.
Those switches are Floyd Roses, where it's like they're a lot of fun, but you're gonna annoy a lot of people,
Right. And you can just do that, right? You can just
I've been like a
switch
rhythm
the-
switchy kind of person lately. I have an SG that I do that with, but I don't like a lot of controls anyway. So
Mhm.
at least on a guitar, I was like a single humbucker, single volume person for like years.
Our Colo Pitts has super chatted $2. It says, "Sorry, it wouldn't let me do 3." That's weird that it wouldn't let you do 3. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Damien's actually the creator of the Machine Gun Kelly guitar, as a matter of fact. for those who don't know.
Yes. I met with him and I said, "Listen."
Well, I remember you said you
Machine.
didn't
Can I
like
call
the
you
tone
Machine?
knob, so you know.
Oh no, well I've learned my lesson. I've realized the usefulness now, even of the rhythm circuit. Because on my Jazzmaster, I didn't have a rhythm circuit for a while, and then I think it was Mike Pusheen.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
He sort of re-enlightened me, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and it's a Gun Street harness in there with
Nice.
all that stuff. So it's
All
whole
right.
bunch of stuff.
Robert super chatted $50. Says it's I've got to take the wife out for dinner, so now I've got to do it. Dinner's
Can I
on
say,
Robert?
Woohoo.
Can I say, Robert, you are a treasure,
my
and
gosh.
you need to be protected at all costs.
Robert is our greatest natural resource.
Seriously, every single time I see Robert in the group or doing anything, I'm just like, heck
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Robert, you are a champion.
he is. I love that guy, and it's great to have him local. We've got to meet up a couple times, and it's just like, I love that we have people in our community, like anyone in our community. The fact that it is a community is amazing to me. Pity super chatted €5, so that's better than American money apparently. so more money for you to use. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
I'm not sure that's true. Is euro? I think the pound is still above us, but I'm not sure the euro.
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea.
60-minute P fund. Oh my god, sassy cat. Oh no.
60-minute.
Uh-oh.
60-minute P.
60
Ryan,
minutes.
this is gonna
$1,000.
This
Yeah,
is gonna
YouTube
stop your
is like-
political career.
YouTube is like, all right, hold on. Wait a second. You said P? No. no. We're not doing this anymore.
Oh man.
I love that we have people.
People.
Huh.
Someone's gonna make it happen. They're gonna raise $6,000, and I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna get that.
Just don't live stream it, please. Just don't.
It's gonna be a live stream. That's for sure. But it'll be a live stream, but it won't be up after that. Like you have to watch. You have to watch it live. Once it's gone, it's gone. Like you'll never be able to watch it after that.
Whoa, what happened to the 60 Cycle Hum channel? Oh, you didn't hear? They had a live stream. Whole live streams.
He's now on OnlyFans only now.
Maybe that's how I'll do it. Like I'll set up an OnlyFans, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for $6,000 worth of subscribers, and then I'll do the P thing, guys.
I feel like you could sell equipment. You get $6,000, but
Sell equipment. Someone pee on you.
for an hour.
For an hour, yeah.
Here's an interesting
That's
idea.
what.
Should I do a
This would be
crossover with 5 watt? I'm not super familiar with 5 watt world, but
like a history, like a deep dive into like the history of surf gear. That would be cool. 'Cause
Mhm.
I like the 5 watt world stuff.
Yeah, me
Keith
too.
does awesome work. Yeah, that'd
I
be
need,
super cool.
I need to go check him out, and then I'll hit him up if I think that's a good idea. I'd love to. I love collaborating with people, 100%. So if he's cool, I'm cool. I'll do it for sure.
We need to do an interview with you then at some point, Ryan, on the Guitar Rabbi channel.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm always down. Diaz was in here earlier, and he thought for a long time that I was never going to be on his show, and we hung out we shared a house at Summer NAMM. And he's like, well, you'll never be on my show. I was like, invite me. I'll be on your show. Like, I don't have to, I can be on something and talk and not have to edit it. Yes, please. I will be on your show. I will be on pretty much every show I'm invited on because I love just hanging out and chatting. And then if I don't have to edit it, that's amazing. Nicola, thank you. Another super, I mean, you guys are super chatting when the show's ending. Thank you. Thank you very much. $4.99. Most regrettable piece of gear you ever sold. Ooh, boy. Okay, you go first.
Fender Lead 3 that I traded for like a SE. Bad move. And then I had an original Tornado, and now I'm going silly over the new Tornado. I didn't know how to make them sound good back in the day, so I think I traded it.
I used to have a real one of these. I used to have a real one of those back in the 90s.
Yeah, and then in the 90s, so you could be rich now. Well, you could have.
Yeah.
You would be 1/3 of the way towards peeing on me.
That's your new price scale to things, like what percent of being peed on?
3 claws, and you can pee on me.
I had a Fender Precision Special that had like the jazz pickup that was painted with the chameleon paint of a car, so it turned from purple to teal, and it was awesome. And I sold it when I went to college, and I regret it. Because because there was only one. Because who's gonna put a guitar in a chameleon paint? Right. It was awesome, but
I think I honestly regret selling my PV Bandit. I had a PV Bandit that I really liked.
You can get those.
I know I can get them, but I kind of wish I'd always had
that
kept,
one.
I wish I'd kept the original one that I had because it would make good content, and I think it's a good it's a good example of a solid state affordable amp. Maybe I should get one. I don't know.
For me, it was the I had a Fender. I said it 3 seconds ago. The Fender HM Strat. It was an '89. It was like an orangey salmon sort of color, and
coral.
Yeah, it was amazing. I love that thing. It was like a 25-inch scale length, I think, and it was just super cool. And it's kind of not great because the new reissues don't really feel the same.
Right.
I remember the
totally
tone knobs. Yeah, the tone knobs had this weird notch position in them, at the halfway point that were super cool.
My contemporaries have that. It's
And it was just such a neat guitar. I wound up trading it to get my orange, my Rockerbird 50, which has been my dream amp for forever. But the HM Strat was my first super nice guitar. My parents got it for me for my birthday, and it was just mwah. So
yeah,
I want to find it again. I look at the pictures of it every once in a while just to see if it'll pop back up.
They pop up for $1,200. That color is hard to find.
I got mine for $5.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not gonna.
And don't
900 maybe you could get one for 900.
All right, we got $5 more from Snarky K. Thank you, Snarky. I appreciate it. And Billy Hell just joined too, right when we're about to end. Billy Hell, do you have any gear that you regret selling? You look like you have quite a collection back there, so maybe you've never sold anything, but I have a feeling you have.
I have a lot of gear, but I also have a lot of echo, so I got to figure that out real quick.
You're not that bad.
Yeah,
We're at the end. You're not that bad. Don't worry about it.
I hear everybody 3 times.
Oh, really?
Oh,
you sound very.
Oh, do you have YouTube open in other tabs?
Yeah, I have it.
You sound clear on my side.
That was it. It was another tab.
Yeah, I had to figure that out too.
So yes, I have a severe gear problem.
Oh yeah,
that's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you love amps. That's for sure.
Yeah. I always wanted an amp wall, and now I have 48, 68, Supros, Fenders, all the good stuff.
So I want to address a question here.
Wow, that
Snarky
is
K
a
asks,
phenomenal
since-
name.
since Snarky has sent some money. At Ryan, are you going to go with my suggestion about calling your new setup the Royals or the Royal Family? I think it's a really those ideas in that direction is a really good idea if I am going to stack the Tone King with the Princetons. But the experimenting I've been doing this past week and a half or so with the Tone King, I'm not sure I like stacking the Tone King with the Princeton. What I've been really experiencing is that the Tone King stacks really, really well with that Rev D20 behind me, which is surprising. Combining those two together is giving a really, really interesting, rounded out clean tone. But I've also been experiencing that the Tone King sounds amazing on its own with just a single mic on it. So I'm not sure I even need to stack amps, do parallel amps when I use the Tone King. I think that might be overkill. If I need to do stereo, then I would do that. But this is what I'm thinking right now for my plan with the future of the Tone King and the Princetons. I think the Princetons are going to remain my amp rig for demoing pedals. I think they just are a really good platform for demoing drive pedals and fuzzes and things like that. The Tone King, I think, is going to be my go-to amp for showing off guitars because it just sounds good by itself. I can quickly switch between the clean and the dirty channel. And I didn't show this in the video, but it has the attenuator on there. You can turn off the attenuator on just the clean channel and then balance the volume between the dirty channel and the clean channel, which is really super smart. So it makes an excellent recording amp in that way. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I don't think I'm going to combine the Tone King with the Princeton. So I don't need to rename it. And I'm still going to use the Princetons for pedals. So the two Princetons jingle is safe. We don't need to worry about it for the time being. Maybe I need a jingle for the Tone King or something like that. But with that, I think it's time to wrap this up. My son is bummed out because he's alone in the home right now and he wants to hang out and play video games. So I'm going to go do that with him. Anyways, thanks for everyone that joined. Sorry you joined at the end, Billy Hell. I don't do these regularly, but when I do, everyone's always welcome to join. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay
Bye.
good.
I love that